Mr. Powell had mentioned 4 reasons why he's not lowering the Fed funds rate. And those 4 reasons are trade, immigration, fiscal policy, and regulation. Let's go through all 4 real fast. First, trade. You guys know, we all know, we're in a trade war with pretty much every country. First it's on, then it's off, now it's back on. Where's it going to go? Nobody knows. All we know is that we don't know what's going to happen. It's complete uncertainty. It can last another week. It could last for the next 3.5 years while Mr. Trump's in office. So with not knowing anything about trade and what direction that we're headed, there's nothing but uncertainty. So that makes a lot of sense for Mr. Powell to have that obvious observation. Next, immigration. Immigration is crazy right now, right? Because we know we're flying criminals. I think it's to Venezuela. We're taking people back home to Mexico. Good, all good. But there's also some down because obviously got to get rid of criminals. There's no down to that. But if we're getting rid of almost all illegal immigrants, that's a lot of workforce that we're losing. And that's a lot of production that we're losing. Now, I'm not here to debate whether that's good or bad. Just know that it's true production that we're losing. It will slow things down. Again, Florida did this. Florida got rid of tons of immigrants. A lot of illegal immigrants left Florida because of how strict they were getting. And then all of a sudden, buildings stopped being built, agriculture slowed down, manufacturing slowed down and then for the hotels, services got worse because they just didn't have the manpower to fill those jobs. So immigration, just like trade, very, very uncertain. We do need people here. We also do need them here legally. Fiscal policy. Where do you begin? Trump is going 100 miles an hour on all 4 lanes of the highway right now. You're talking about DOGE and the Department of Education. The guy is cutting the Department of Education before he even knows what he's going to do with the next Department of Education. They have an idea. They're not cutting very important services. They're going to keep FAFSA and all the important areas is what they're saying. But then what are you going to do with the rest of the money? They haven't stated what they're going to do or how they're going to implement it to the states. As a matter of fact, I was watching an interview where they were talking about, somebody asked, well, why would you give money to the state of Illinois or the state of New York? Because they've proven that they can't take care of the money because it'll just get squandered in corruption. And then they were talking about, yeah, we brought that's been brought to our attention. We're thinking about some type of pass-through. That means nothing. That means absolutely nothing, some type of pass-through. So I am not a fan of the Department of Education by no means because the numbers since it started has not improved. The school numbers as a whole has actually gotten worse. So we can't keep giving good money after bad money good money into bad money, which is the Department of Education. But you can't dismantle the Department of Education without having an idea of what you're going to do next with the money. Nevertheless, again, it's just pure uncertainty because we're getting rid of certain departments. DOGE is getting rid of other departments, and they obviously aren't technically getting rid of. You're not legally able to do that. But when you defund it, or when you fire, 3/4 of the workforce, you're making that department unable to move forward. Therefore, getting rid of the department. Again, just more uncertainty, and if you're in the government, you don't know where or when it's going to hit you. And now you got regulation. Regulation meaning, well, it can mean a million things, but for the most part, I take it as to, is Trump even doing any of this stuff legally? There's a judge that there was a plane flying to Venezuela to take these criminals to Venezuelan jails. A judge said, turn the plane around because sending those guys in the manner that you sent them out of America is unlawful. First of all, that sounds ridiculous. We're saying, hey, these criminals that don't belong here, we need to do it better. I don't know how that sounds, but the case is to be made. Is the way that he's defunding these organizations or the way he's deporting some of these people, is it legal in the manner that he's doing it? Is he breaking regulations in order to get his platforms or his agenda passed through. Obviously, I don't know. I'm happy with however you want to detain people as long as you're not abusing people, right? Because everyone has human rights, at least in America. But with that being said, that he has to go through the courts for a lot of the stuff. He's being sued, I think over 100 times. I think it's over 100 people coming after him, not 100 people, 100 lawsuits, and just since his presidencies, they're trying to bog him down with pure litigation. So there's again just more uncertainty, and then some of the courts might come back and say everything he's done is not legal, and then what do you do there? It's gone so far that I heard Trump say we're trying to make sure we do everything legally. That should be something that should be unsaid, yet needs to be said, I guess, because he's getting sued every which way from Saturday. But again, the four things that the Fed chairman is worried about: trade, immigration, fiscal policy, and regulation. Everything is up in the air. And I'm not saying I'm mad at it. To be honest, at least something's getting done. So are you going to break a few eggs when you're making the omelet? 100% you are. Is he doing everything the right way? I don't know that he is. But is he getting stuff done? Can't say that he's not getting something done. One thing that we know about the future is that we have no idea what's going to be happening in the future. So I'm along for the ride because I'm in the mortgage industry, because I'm a loan officer. Hopefully somehow this is going to help my industry out, because if my industry is doing good, typically that means the rest of the economy is doing good as well.